Good morning, y'all. Let me do something with my hair right quick because I noticed I washed it last night because I dyed it again. Let's get this bump just right. I have to take my glasses off. I got a bit of a glare, but I can't see without them. I guess I can just go ahead and start. And I always try to wait until people come in to start my lives. Mostly I do lives on Facebook, not on YouTube. Mainly because YouTube will not allow me to do lives from my phone, and I don't like the clarity on YouTube. But anyway, this is something that's been bugging me for the past 2 weeks. I mean, it's been ongoing for a while, but more so, it's made itself more present and more known this week, and that is when people get the epiphany that they want to go into the t-shirt printing business. And that's great and wonderful if you have knowledge about it. Maybe if you have a background, you worked in the industry before, or you have a firm understanding on it and you went through the steps to educate yourself on what you need to do as a printer and how to run a business. Well, I have a handful of people that haven't done that. And it's really starting to irritate me. And I'll tell you, I'm an open book to a certain extent, and that extent being, if you're local and we're competitors, I'm not going to feed you. I have to. We all have to survive in this business, and there's plenty of work to go around. But when I am showing you how to do everything, where to get your supplies from, how to run your business, then why wouldn't I just keep that business for myself? Why would I help you? So, just to give you a couple scenarios about what I'm talking about, I have one person, and I do offer classes, one-on-one classes, for people that are new to silhouette, people that are new to silhouette cameo. I do offer one-on-one classes to help you get familiar with your cameo, or maybe you want to brush up on your cameo. Maybe there's stuff that you want to do with your cameo, or that you aren't aware of that your cameo can do. So for an hour, I sit down with these people. Thus far, I only have one. And I show you how to use your cameo settings. Okay. Well, this particular person comes over to bring their child every time they come. And it's usually on the weekend, so my husband's here. It has got to the point where my husband, he has an area down here in the basement as well. It's a shared space. He can't even come down here and relax on his days off because this person brings her child with him and they're constantly in his stuff. And my husband's he's not a miser. He doesn't dislike children, but our daughter has grown up knowing that's dad's stuff. I don't touch that. And you've got to teach your children. But not only that, he's into everything. So she can't focus and listen to me when I respond to her questions, as we're sitting here going through this session. So by the time she gets home, she's retained nothing. Nothing. And she expects me to show her, or excuse me, tell her via text how to do some complicated stuff. And I'm talking about how to do knockouts, how to cut and print. I can't do that via text. I mean, that would be a lot of verbiage to try to explain to somebody how to do that via text. It's something you need to show them hands-on. So when she's not present here with me, I refer to YouTube. She refuses to go here to YouTube to learn, which is where, if I haven't told you anything about my background, my business started out as hand-painted ornaments, hand-painted decor. I didn't have any of this equipment. I didn't have the big plotter. I didn't have the cameo. I didn't have all this stuff. I went to briefly work for a boutique that brought my attention to this. to this type of stuff like the cameo and the vinyl and all that. And it sparked an interest in me. Now I had very little training while I was there to know how to use this equipment and use it to its capacity. So I had to teach myself. Where did I learn? Here on YouTube. Um, it between YouTube and just the internet in general, I taught myself how to do all this stuff. Do I know everything? No. Amanda still goes to YouTube on a, if not daily to weekly basis, to educate myself. But there are so many people out there that don't want to do that. Why are you so lazy? If you're so gung-ho about making your business take off and delivering a quality product, why would you not want to educate yourself and be the best that you can be at what you're doing? Another scenario we have here. I've had a lady contact me over the past year about 3 times. I first met her at a t-shirt sale I had here out in my garage. The screen printer I was working with, we were partnered up. When they bought a piece of equipment, and I don't remember what it was, they acquired about 3 or 4,000 t-shirt blanks. There were, just a wide variety of them. So they didn't have the space at their location to lay all these t-shirts out and display them and sell them and get rid of them. So dummy me, which I paid for it in the long run, offered to have this t-shirt sale. Well, this particular lady came like the first day of the sale. Very dry lady, kind of salty, but I like everybody to feel at home over here. So I'm chatting everybody up and come to find out she is the wife of another local screen printer. We always call him the $4 t-shirt guy because he says he prints everything for $4. I don't know how, but he said he's doing it. So that's how I come to know her. Well, in the months since, she's contacted me quite a few times for quotes on screen printing and digital print, and vinyl. And I got another one day before yesterday. She calls me, can I send you a logo and can you give me a quote on screen printing or a full color print? And you all know I use Transfer Express. It's available to everyone. So I get the logo, and it's a local diner here, and we're all familiar with it and love it. But this is a 4-color logo. Why do you want a digital print? I mean, it's a very simple, like, classic diner sign. That's all it is. But I was telling my husband, I said, I cannot for the life of me figure out why she keeps calling me for these quotes when she has the equipment to do it, traditional screen printing, much cheaper than I do buying transfers. And the only thing we could come to the conclusion was it's not a competition thing, but maybe she doesn't know how to price. That is the only conclusion we could draw to. Well, after an hour or so of getting quotes together and getting all the information compiled for her and sending a text message, and she doesn't respond right away. It takes her hours to respond. So I have this job sitting in my queue, and I don't know what to do with. And I don't expect people to respond like this. I already knew the answer that she was going to give me in response to the quote, which was no thank you. No thank you. She does this to me every time. I do all the legwork, get her quotes together, only for her to every time say no. Even down to a quote on a $3 sheet of vinyl. I can understand price shopping. I can understand price shopping for the vinyl. I can understand price shopping maybe for the digital prints. Maybe she's not familiar or comfortable with Transfer Express because you all know that I wasn't for a while. But I got annoyed. So by this point, late last night, she emailed me and said, thank you for the quote. And I did tell her, since we were doing the digital print, I gave her 2 options, screen printing and digital or litho print. So, with the litho print, we had to convert it to a CMYK. It had a lot of red in the logo, and when we converted it to CMYK, it was making that red look more like a burnt orange maroonish type color, which was a dramatic change. So I made her, aware of that. But yet still, I offered her screen printing as well. So she had those two options. So she gives me this lame excuse. Well, because of the color variation, I'm not going to go with you. Okay, well, I gave you screen printing options. They were roughly within $10 of each other because you only ordered 50. So, um, and in the meantime, this is what I do. I don't trust people anymore to do this for me because I've been burned. And we all know once we've been burned, then we've got to like recalibrate. So if I'm using a license or trademark logo, I'm going to call that company or email them to get their written permission to duplicate their logo. She didn't provide that for me. And what I wouldn't have trusted it anyway, because anybody can get on Word, paste their logo at the top of the page, especially if you're in our type of industry, and type a letter saying they're so and so from Human Resources. Yes, I give you approval. I don't trust that anymore. I reach out on my own. So I just thought the whole situation was fishy. Why is she contacting me wanting quotes for this 4-color screen print when you show all these wonderful pictures on your page of your equipment, your light box, your dryer, your carousel, your inks? You show all this. Why are you bothering me? And I'm not too good to be bothered, but I'm a people watcher, and I notice when most people reach out to me, they have a motive in mind, and it, it's usually not honest. But anyway, so I went ahead and reached out to the company and told them, I have a person, that is wanting to use your logo um, to in turn print shirts for you. I said, but unfortunately, she was not able to provide me with a release form to be able to duplicate your license. Well, it was almost immediately after that I get the message from her saying that, no, we're not going to go with you because of the color variations. Well, and she said, they're a trademark company, so, their color, is part of, is their staple. Yes, I understand that. So I explained in the email back to her, yes, I'm aware of their trademark logo. And with all my companies, I do reach out, with all my corporations, I do reach out and ask for a release. So just to let you know, I have done this as well for this particular company. Um, and after months and months and months, over a year of her not just coming out and asking me the questions she has to ask, but she feels like she has to lie to me and go through this whole quote situation to to get the answer she's looking for. So I said, I have a question. Why are you constantly calling me only to never follow through with these quotes for screen printing when you have the equipment to screen print? Why? And she finally come out and told me a half-assed explanation, which was, when I went to print this logo, the color was off. So I just thought it was my printer. But since you tell me now it's because it has to be printed in CMYK, I know it's not my printer now. Well, why didn't you just ask me that? Why didn't you just ask me that instead of let me spend like an hour and a half, 2 hours on giving you a quote just for that question? And then she goes on to tell me, I don't have access to screen printing equipment. Yes, you do. It's splattered all over your page. It's splattered all over your husband's page. Your husband advertises on all the local pages. This is what he does. So I said, I'm an open book to a certain extent. Um, you can ask me anything you want. If I want you to know, I'll tell you. Or if I think you're gonna need to know basis. If it's something that's gonna hinder me from getting work, no, I'm not gonna tell you. If am I gonna tell you where my suppliers are? Heck no. Am I gonna tell you um I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I'm not going to feed you. You're going to have to work for your money, just like I do. I don't go out cutting people's throats to get business. I could have easily called over to this company and told them, if you're interested in having sharps printing, please allow me to give you a quote first. But I wasn't going to do that. No, I'm not going to do that, because if I have to go, if I have to go around being sneaky like that to get jobs, I'm not going to be in business long, because it's just an underhanded thing to do. But long story short, from what I gather, she didn't know if she was doing something correctly because of the color situation. So instead of asking me, is the color going to change when I digitally print this? She asked for a quote. Instead of sitting down and taking the time to figure out her materials, her time to determine her quote for her customer, she used me. I mean, folks, just, oh, I'm telling you, I'm not furious about this. I'm just, the more I think about it, and you mulling it over in your head, it just becomes annoying. So all these people are going into this t-shirt business here, especially in the outer Atlanta area, the suburbs of Atlanta. People are just, as far as vinyl, I have so much competition. Um, Embroidery, not so much. Screen printing, not so much. Not so much. Because I don't offer traditional screen printing. I don't have the room for the equipment. Transfers to me are just as good, if not better. They're a lot cleaner. I know that. Um, but getting to the point, if you're making the sound decision to go into business for yourself, okay, maybe you don't know anything about it. You know, you're interested in it. So take the time to educate yourself. Get your business platform together. This is how I'm going to determine what my pricing is. These are my hours. Hold on just a second. Hello. Hey. Yeah. Let me call you back. All right. Love. Bye. Okay. Sorry about that. I changed changed the Google password. And now he's calling me wanting it. He'll get it in a minute. But what I was getting back to say, these are all things you need to determine before you go into business yourself. How to run your equipment, what it's capable of, where to get your supplies, where to get your t-shirt blanks, the programs you're going to need, the accounting system you're going to need. This is all stuff you need to educate yourself on prior to going in business, because there's not always going to be somebody out there that you can just pick up the phone and call, to get the answers to all your questions. I'm not like, well, you remember what? I'm not Miss Cleo. Remember, you can call Miss Cleo and talk to her for like $5 a minute, and she would, you know, tell you all about your future and everything. I'm not Miss Cleo. I don't know everything. I can't answer everything for you, and I'm for damn sure if um if I'm going to give you every little aspect, every little detail to tell you how to run your business, then I'm going to call that person and get to get that job myself, because I'm doing all the work anyway. So I might as well go ahead and, do that. But educate yourself. I don't mind, if I know the answer to the question, because like I said, I'm not a know-it-all. But if I can help you in any way, and if you're going to go approach me in an honest way, I've tried doing this, Amanda. I'm just, what am I doing wrong? If it's a situation like that where you're already trying to help yourself, but you're still kind of stuck, I don't mind helping you. But if you're not even going to take the time to learn how to sit down and turn that machine on, don't call me. Don't call me. Don't call anybody and bother them, because you're just wasting time when you could have took the 5 minutes to either read the instructions or go on YouTube and find the video on how to do it. Because I have YouTube University education. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you about it. There's no ifs, ands, and buts. What I didn't pick up just by happenstance or teaching myself just from trial and error, I learned from the internet and YouTube. And I suggest, you highly recommend that these people do that themselves as well. Um, it's like charity. You got to help yourself before, you know, you have to help yourself first. That's all it is to it. So, moral of the story, if you're looking into going in this business, educate yourself, whether it be on YouTube, webinars, Rhinestone World, Matt Masalo, he offers a ton of webinars. Not only that, Stalls offers them as well. There's quite a few companies out there that offers these webinars. Some are free, some are, you have to pay for. But if you're serious about going into this business, then there's a lot of education you need to obtain. I'm not saying you have to get it all at once before you can even think about going in business. Maybe I want to start in vinyl first. I want to start using HTV. How do I use this? How do I properly use it? Learn one section at a time, until you feel I've acquired all the education that I think I'm going to need for my business. I'm not saying that it's a constant ongoing learning situation. It's constant. But don't depend on everybody else to hold your hand throughout your business career, tell you how to do everything, whether it be how to run your machines, how do I invoice? Call QuickBooks. That's all I can tell you. That's all I can tell you. But I hope this wasn't too bad of a rant. I don't think anybody chimed in, but that's okay. Maybe you'll listen to it later. Maybe you won't. But I'd be interested in hearing your feedback. And listen, folks, I've got some jobs coming up that I don't think I posted videos on before. But I'm really looking for some ideas on content because I'm running out. I'm really running out. So if you could drop me a message or a comment and let me know, I would be glad to hear from you. Right now, look, y'all, this design, I think it is called Afro Rock. But it's this gorgeous African woman, and she has the most beautiful afro. And she has large hoop earrings, and it's just basically her silhouette. So you see her eyebrow, a little divot of her nose, her lips, and these gorgeous hoop earrings. And we added a little saying down to the side. But my customer is going to be walking in a show for recovery patients, people recovering from addiction. And this design right here, which is the sheet I'm working on, is a 12 by 12. We're looking at over 2,000 rhinestones, or excuse me, 2,000 crystals, because I wanted some eye-catching stuff. But as you can see, there are different variations in sizes. I think they're going to go from SS6s to SS16s. It's going to be gorgeous. She's going to have matching Calvin Klein. The waistband of her Calvin Klein underwear are going to be showing, and we're going to bling that out too. Not to mention, she's going to have a white bandana, kind of like kerchief style, and it's going to be blinged out. I mean, just encrusted in crystals. She is going to be like putting folks' eyes out. It's going to be like this because you're not going to be able to see her. It's going to be gorgeous though. But I had to order some AB crystals. So we're looking at between tomorrow and Tuesday, them all coming in. And I'm not going to start doing that until I get all of them in. Because when I sit down to do this, I want to get it done. I don't want to do, a piece at a time. But I hate flock. This is Rocket from JSI. It never cuts all the way through. I don't care how new the blade is. This was cut on a 6 on this Silhouette Cameo. But like I said, I have 2,000 of these to go. And it took about 45 minutes to cut. I'm not going to try to cut this with the big cutter because it just doesn't like these little circles for some reason. I'm assuming it's because it's not a servo motor. But I'm sitting here poking these things out by hand. I hate flock. Usually I do free-handed rhinestone designs, but this one is I made it so detailed that I don't know, I just want to place them by hand. It's not going to take long once we get started, but it's going to look so flipping gorgeous. I just can't wait. And it's on a white, super soft Razorback tank top, like a men's style undershirt tank top. Oh, it's so soft, so gorgeous. And the bandana is white too. So we're looking at I'll show you the crystals we're using, see if I can pull them up. I had to resort to Amazon because usually I order my crystals either through Rhinestone World or Thread Art or JSI. Well, Rhinestone World is a little bit expensive this time. So I go to JSI. They don't sell anything but the white AB crystals. If you're not familiar with the AB crystals, they have like an iridescent color to them. So they may be red, but then they'll color shift in the light. So they only sell the whites. I needed red that shifted between purples and blues and whites. So I go to Thread Art. Well, they're all sold out of the red um, crystals that I need, the red cyan in the SS16. So I was like, oh goodness, I'm gonna have to take to Amazon because it's gonna be a bunch of different companies I'm gonna have to order these from. But we're gonna do, I'll show you the colors we're gonna use. I don't know how well it'll pull up. I'm gonna make sure I don't show you any of my information. So we're gonna be using, this is the blue we're gonna be using. And what color is that called? That's Capri Blue. Then we're going to be using, and I'll show you, see if it'll pull up a picture of the ABs. Okay, these are the AB crystals. I know it's hard to tell from the picture, but they're red and they shift between white and blue and red. Oh, it's just so gorgeous. Because I did not want to put a white crystal on a white shirt because it just wasn't going to look right. And then I didn't want to use the studs, the metallic looking rhinestone crystals or rhinestones. And then we're just going to use some red cyan. Those are the biggest ones. But oh, it's going to look so gorgeous. It's going to take some time, but I think it's going to take the most time trying to sit here. I'll show you, I'll peel off the back of this. Can you see? I don't know if you can see all the, pretty much this whole sheet, trying to catch the light, is going to be encrusted with rhinestones. Like I said, it didn't cut all the way through. I'm not worried about it. I've got some time, a little bit of downtime to sit here and pick these out and weed it out. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. But I think she's going to be gorgeous. Oh, I cannot wait to see the after pictures of this. Do your customers send you a lot of pictures after you've made them something? And when you're making it, you're like, oh, I'm so proud of myself. This looks so great. I hope they send me pictures. And jokers never send pictures. I want to see how it looks on you. You know, sometimes I have to try stuff on my daughter or my husband to see, you know, how it's going to look and everything. But I never get a picture hardly ever of the finished product with my customer in the, you know, what I've done for them. I want to see that so bad. But anyway. All right. Well, maybe I'll do a video of that. But otherwise, you know, subscribe, like, share. I would greatly appreciate it. But more so, none of my videos are sponsored, by the way. I just do these just, I think it's an outlet to chat to you guys with common interest. But leave me a message or comment. I need some content ideas, and I'd greatly appreciate it. So enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll chat later. I may or may not do a video on this. Just depends on what feedback I get from you guys. So enjoy your day, and we'll chat again soon. Bye.